guys, today we're going to talk about management aspect. So what is the purpose of management aspect? Management aspect is to find out whether the business development and implementation can be planned, implemented, and controlled so that the business plan can be declared feasible or vice versa. So there are four main contents that we will talk about in management aspects. First is the business planning, second is the management, third actuating, and fourth is controlling. So first thing that we will talk about is planning. There are some approaches that you can use in planning or in business planning. First, there is a top-down approach. This one is done by the head of organization, or you can go with bottom-up approach, which is top leaders give authority to management at the lower levels, or you can go with mixed approaches. The leader gives instruction, then left to the creativity of the company's unit, or the last one, you can go with grouping approach. This one is created by a group of experts, for example, like Bureau of Planning, or in Indonesia, we call it Bappenas. So there are a lot of functions in planning. There are general policy translator, forecasting planning, economic function, ensuring an activity, coordination tools, and also controlling tools here. Here, we're talking about the planning type. We have two kind of type here. First is the time-based planning, and also the second one is the functional-based planning. So when we'll talk about time-based planning, we differentiate it based on the term, based on the period. First, we have long-term planning. This will be go ahead. We're talking about the future in 20 until 30 years. And the middle-term planning, we're talking about 3 until 5 years. And short-term planning, we're talking only like 1 year. And based on the functional-based planning here, we divided the planning into two. There's a strategic planning and also the operation planning. The strategic planning, more like the top management determines the company's vision, mission, and strategy to achieve the company's long-term goals. But when we're talking about operation, it's more like day-to-day planning and the functional field of the company. So when we're talking about the business planning here, we're talking about also the work program technique. This more like how we can make a really good timeline for the project. So we have several techniques that you can use. First is Gantt chart. So Gantt chart is the schedule is done by two axes. We have horizontal axis, which is describe the time period, and also the vertical axis that describe the type of activity and its implementation. And next ones, we can use a milestone chart. The advantage of milestone chart is that critical activities are tried to be shown here rather than in Gantt chart. And scheduling this model is an improvement of the Gantt chart with the addition of important events or milestone. Like for example, like the first activity and then in between activity and also the final activity. As I already told before, that the advantage using the milestone chart is that the critical activities are tried to be shown here rather than in Gantt chart. The next technique is PERT, or Program Evaluation and Review Technique. In PERT technique, its creation has three important foundations. We're talking about planning, organization, and also controlling. And the existence of several parts later selected the most optimal part in the use and deployment of time, cost, and labor resources so that the efficiency curve can be improved. So as you can see here in the picture, this is all about the PERT. So we'll find out whether we go with this activity from 1 to 5A, or we can just go with 1368 or 1358. So we'll definitely find out which activity is, we need to have an eye on it because it will be affected to the efficiency, and also which sources, which process that we can improve. And last one, when we were talking about the business planning, is budgeting. So it's often called a financial plan. So budget benefits for company is like providing a unified corporate plan, guidelines for the implementation of the company activities, work coordination tools, and also workmanship tools. And the last one is that the company activity evaluation tools, because in the end what we saw is in number, and numbers doesn't lie. So the second thing that we will talk in management aspect is organizing. So here is the steps in organizing in your company. First, you need to detailing the entire work to fit the vision and mission, and then divided the workload into activities that are logical and can be done by a group of people. The third one is that you can combining work logically and efficiently. Next, establishing the mechanism for coordinating work and monitor the effectiveness of the organization. So when we're talking about organizational structure here, as you can see here, in the top level, the arrangement and the relationship between parts and the position in the company. And the middle one, we call it like this one will be more like demonstrating the level of activity specialization. For example, like here is CEO, and then here we have the director of finance, or director of marketing, or director of operation, something like that. And then the next level is more like describing the division of work activities. So when we're talking about director of financial, then this one will be talking about finance. We have manager finance, or we have manager tax, or we have manager cash flow, or something like that. For example, like here also in the division of marketing, for example, we have a general manager of marketing, or general manager for which product, something like that. And then the last one, we're talking about that describes the hierarchy and the order of authority and reporting relationship, who reports to whom. And with an organizational structure stability and community, the organization can survive here. So this is one of the example of the organizational structure. As you know, this one is the top level, right? And then this one is middle level, and also this one is lower level. And this is one of the types in organizational structure. We have organisasi garis or line organization here. And also we have the functional organization, so we divide it into each function of the company. And this one is just right away from the supervisor and then goes to the worker. And this is the line and also staff here. And this is also. So when we're talking about the organizing, the management, we're also talking about the achievement. So manager achievement is measured by the efficiency and also effectiveness. So what is efficiency? Efficiency means like doing the work right. But the effectiveness means like you doing the right job. So this is kind of different, yeah, between efficiency and also effectiveness. And the third things that we need to consider in management aspect is actuating. So here in actuating, we divide it into actuating function and also leadership function. In the foundation of leadership, leadership must involve others, and leadership involves an unequal distribution of power between the leader and the lead. The leader cannot only state what to do, but carry out orders to the subordinates. So it's not just like for example, I am your boss and then I told you to make a report for the next week, but I never explaining or never giving you some instruction how you can do your report or what kind of report that I want. So being a leader, you need to know, you need to give a really specific, uh, you know, specific orders, not just told them what they do, but also you need to carry out it. And the last one, when we're talking about management aspect, is controlling. So we have several types of controlling. We have preliminary control methods. Second is the concurrent control methods. And third one is the feedback control methods. So when we're talking about what makes the effective control system is the first one you need to consider about the accuracy. On time, objective and comprehensive, focus on the strategic control points, economical, realistic, flexible, and also accepted by the organizational members. So that's all about today's lesson. If you have any questions,